Okay, so yes, hello everyone. So today, or from today for next few days, we'll talk about how to perform select. And I told you, right? Um, if you look at the all the commands, okay, 80% of effort goes into select. Now, if you are into analytics, probably 95% of your time will get into analytic select, right? Or maybe even sometimes 100% work will be on select because we tend to read data. We don't create data, right? So whatever we have done so far, those are good to know because you might work in database field. So you need to know what is table, how to create table, what is keys and how to create keys, how to insert, delete, update. But in terms of effort and in terms of expectation also, they expect you to be good with select query. Okay, and we have selected livesql.oracle.com. This is a public website hosted by Oracle, which gives us access to the dummy data. Advantage is that you have complex data and multiple tables, multiple relations, multiple data, right? So it gives us good practice. Okay. Now, if we have to create something similar, it would take us a lot of time. Okay, so hopefully, if you do the project like library or that bus route problems, you would end up getting some kind of complex data, which you can also use for practicing yourself. But this is the best website to practice. This does not allow you to do whatever we have done so far. It does not allow you to alter the table. You can't edit the table in any way, right? You can't alter the table in the sense you cannot add or remove any column. You cannot perform update, insert, or delete. Okay, and only select permission is given, and that's why we'll do it. Otherwise, we know how to create our own database. We know how to create our own diagram and how to perform those actions. Okay, so those actions are that much only. Okay, there's no much complexity. Complexity gets into select because, see, when you are updating, deleting, okay, or even inserting, you will perform each of these operations once, um, you know, um, only once and at a table level itself. Okay, you won't be updating two tables at the same time. If you have to update two tables same time, you will write two different update query. Right, first you write update query 1 for table 1, then go and update query for table 2, so on. So it is easier to do that. But select can become complex because in select, very rarely you will depend on one table. Okay, and that's why the when we talk about data warehousing, we'll see that all the the concept of relationships are there, but we are trying to merge the data together. Okay, we are trying to merge the data together to form one single table so that select becomes easier, right? So that's a separate design. We'll talk about it when we go to data warehousing part. But let's stay with normal design or OLTP design where data is created into multiple tables and you have to create those multiple tables because you don't want to duplicate the data. Duplicate data has its own challenges. Right? Duplicate data means reading is easier, right? As I said, right, if you take a Xerox copy of a document and put it in every room, okay, it is easier to access. Okay, but then if you have to make some changes, you don't know how many copies you have kept because you have to update in all those copies. Correct. So insert, update, okay, delete, this becomes very complex in terms of duplicating data. So apart from primary key, okay, in fact, if you see, even primary key is not repeated. So if you repeat primary key in other table, it's called foreign key, right? So we say that you can use only foreign key references to connect multiple tables, but the data should not be duplicated. If you're talking about salary, there has to be only one table in the entire database and only one column which should talk about salary. If you talk about commission, it could be in the same table or it could be in different table, but always only one column should exist in the entire database. That's what we say, avoiding duplicate. Okay, if you have only one column in the entire database, you know which column to look for. But if you have more than one column having same information, it is a mess. Okay, so that's the first rule also, right? And for to be in RDBMS, that's the first rule. You cannot, okay, have duplicate value. Okay, so to avoid duplicate, there will be multiple tables and there will be relationship between them. They'll be connected, and that's why select can become sometimes little complex. Okay, sorry. So this is your um, live SQL, right? Uh, and here, if you see, you have signing, right? So I hope by now everybody has created an account. Account is free. Just sign on. Okay. Okay. So this is the signed on version. Okay. You have here introduction to SQL, some of the things which I'm going to talk about. You can also learn from here. Okay. We're not getting into yeah, we will get into SQL macros. Okay, this is even more advanced version of doing SQL. Okay, and then you can simply say start coding now. Okay, it will take you to this SQL worksheet. Okay, this is the editor. Okay, just like we have query editor in SQL Server Management Studio, we have here the SQL worksheet. Okay, the query editor. You can type your query here, command here, and you will get output here at the bottom. Okay, now if you go and see the schema, okay, you have multiple tools here: tutorial, session, schema. We go to schema, and sorry, we will actually, for this practice session, we'll use human resources, but you can practice same thing on different table. Okay, so here we have main table employee and we have departments. Obviously, department would be linked to employees. Then you have job history, you have jobs, right? These are all your tables, locations, regions. Okay, so look for the word table here. So regions 1, locations 2, jobs 3, job history 4, employees 5, countries 6, departments 7. So we have 7 tables for our use. Great. What else? I think this should be it. Let's go to our query editor here. Okay, or the worksheet. So we'll start with employees first. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to say select star from employees. I hope everybody can see my screen. Yeah, it is little small, font, but still it is visible, right? So that's why I would suggest that not to watch this on phone. Okay, if you watch phone, it will be even more smaller. So
We can phone also, but
yeah, you'll have to zoom and do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Now it's visible only like from
correct.
laptop also.
Yeah, but I would suggest, like, at least use laptop. Even, you can let the laptop play in front of you. Okay.
Laptop is good, not small.
Okay. So, okay. So now see here, the go command that we used, that was in SQL Server. Go command is not in Oracle. Oracle, you just give semicolon and it is it. Okay. You can separate multiple SQL queries using semicolon. That's it. Okay. So
There is no.
select, sorry.
We should not. We cannot keep. I mean, here there is no. We no. Go రాయాల్సిన పర్లేదు కదా అని అంటున్నా.
No, no, no. No, no, no. You cannot. Okay. Because Go is specific to SQL Server only.
Okay, here it's
You can.
optional.
No, that's what I'm saying. Not only option. It is not accepted. Okay. If
Okay,
I
in
put Go here, okay, and I run it, Okay. So it says table or view doesn't exist. Okay. It is reading as go as command. Go is
Okay.
not accepted in Oracle. Okay.
So
Go
we
is
cannot
only
now
in,
query using semicolon.
yes. But the command is exactly the same. Whatever we do here, okay, will be
Yeah.
here. Now, why? Because we have not mentioned the schema name, right? So we have to say HR dot. Okay. Now, when you run it, yes, you get it here. Okay. So you have, so these are the columns: employee ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date, job ID, salary, commission, manager ID, department ID. Okay. The first basic query that we learn is, okay, select star from HR dot employee. So um, this is the command for selection, right? Now, I don't want all the columns, and see, you should not use star at all. Okay. Now, because most of your um, uh, commands, okay, will be, why do you do? Because you need data, and you will input this data in some form or the other form, right? You might build something else, you might move it to Excel, you might move it to Power BI or somewhere, right? Now, problem with that is, okay, you would, let's say here you have 10 columns, 4, 6, I think 11 columns, right? So you have 11 columns here. So when you, let's say, you take this data and you build your logic in in Python or in Power BI, okay? The way you will design, assuming that you have 11 columns, right? Now, if tomorrow somebody goes and deletes a column or the table in the main table, or adds an extra column, your your uh, your template or um, your um, um, your project, in a way, will fail, right? Because you're expecting only 7, now you got 8 values. So, your template that you have created is not able to handle. Okay. So it is always better, okay, to use column name. Okay. So though we say select star, we this is the first command we learn, but we never use. Okay, if you want to use all the columns also, please mention all the columns. Okay, that way you have control over the order. Okay, that first employee ID, then first name, then last name. Okay, you have control over the order, and you also have control over the columns that you're getting. Now, see, if you're using first name and first name is deleted, obviously it should give error, right? Because you're reading something which is not there. So in that case, yes, you'll get error. But if they add some extra column, that should not give you error, isn't it?
Can you repeat again, Swapnil? Like,
So I'm saying that you should not use star. Okay. If you want
okay,
to read all the columns, mention all the columns. Okay.
okay.
Okay, do not use star because you do not have control over the number of columns that is printed. So tomorrow, if they change the number of columns, your other column will increase or decrease. So it's better
But
to use same column names here.
okay, I mean, if somebody changes a table also, it's like we need to know, right? Like what columns, like then select star will be helpful, I think, right? Like if
Select
any.
star will never be helpful. Okay. Now let's say you will say, let's say bad
Star means
example. Let's
we
say
have
bad.
always.
I'll give you a bad example. Okay.
Okay.
Right now, let's say that I have only one trading. So you say that I want to attend all the tradings of Saurav. Okay, fine, because only one trading. But tomorrow, if I start trading in business analysis, then you'll have to attend business analysis trading also. Okay. If I start third trading, you have to start third trading also. But those are not relevant to you. Why do you want to attend those training? So do not say I want to attend all. You say I want to attend this, comma, this, comma, this, comma, this. Right? So because you are building your forms, you are building your UI based on those 7 columns. So you are saying, okay, column select star, and first column should go to form 1, uh, output 1. Second
We are
column go
saying
to
particular columns if we need means we can do like select particular column names we
you
can
should
type.
always use specific column
Okay.
names. So don't use star. Okay. Uh, that's
I
what
mean
I'm
star
saying.
means all the columns. Like
Even if you want to use all the columns, select column names specifically, individually. Okay. Select column names individually. Even if you are doing all the columns, do that. That's the best practice.
Order is important, like
Order is important and column names are also important. Okay.
okay. So
So
whatever the order we have created, like in the same way we need to select employee ID.
no, no,
Like
no,
in
no, 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 no. It's
what we
not,
can.
no, it's not related to the way you create it. It is related to how you want to use it. Now, I want to
Okay.
display first name first. I want to display last name first and first name after last name. So I can do this. Okay.
I'm asking that. So order is not important, but
Order
the
is
way
not important. Okay.
like we need to mention the column names.
You have to mention column names. Even if you want to use all the columns, don't use star. You
Better
mention all the column names. Yeah. That's the best practice. Okay. So now when I go and run it, you get the columns that you are interested in.
Okay, I mean whatever columns we need, we can display it.
Yes. So now you see by default, okay, these will be okay, the in capital letters. Okay.
I mean
Now let's
column name.
say, yes. Now let's say I don't want last name to be displayed as this. Okay. I want last name to be displayed as just last name. Okay. You don't like the column names here. Okay. For some reason, you don't like the column names. You want column names, the output, the header. Okay. The column, because see, you have two types of things here. One is the actual column name, another is called display name. Okay. So column names that you see, these are the columns name that the developer who has created this table has given it. Okay. Display name, Oracle says that, or not only Oracle, SQL Server, or the SQL. Actually, we're talking about SQL, the programming language, right? This is nothing to do with Oracle or SQL Server. What we are doing is the SQL programming language. It says, okay, you can rename the display name. You can't rename the column name. Okay, column name is same. Okay, you cannot go to database and change it because you don't have permission. Okay, but you can control the way it is displayed. Okay, so I can go here, um, here. Okay, last name, right? So I can say last name space last name. Okay, now when you run this, okay, so see, last name is not displayed as the database table column name. It is displayed as the name that you give. So, but still, the SQL has to know from where, which column you want the data, right? So to know which column the data should come, you have put last name. That is the actual name in the table. But space in double quotation, you're giving the display name. Okay. So data is from last name. Okay. Last underscore name, but display is your last name.
Okay, whatever the name we have given will display in that
Display.
column.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Whenever creating table, like we have created last underscore name. That's why we are using that.
Right. Okay. So now we have one more column here called salary. Okay. So let's see if it is salary or something else. If it runs fine. Yeah, we have salary here. Now this salary is a monthly salary. Okay. Now what I want to do is I don't want to use monthly salary. I want to use annual salary. So I can say space, okay, salary into 12. Okay. Now salary into 12 is a dependent column, right? Just like in Excel, we create a dependent column. Here also we are creating a dependent column, which is dependent on salary. So
Okay.
salary into 12, okay? Salary into 12 is your annual salary, correct?
Yeah, we
Now,
can keep space
yeah,
double quote and salary we
yeah,
can keep in the
correct,
display.
right. So what happened when I run? This is what will happen, okay? I did not select anything, right? So it is running all the three columns, all the
Three
three
command.
SQL command. Okay, so this is the first output. This is the second output. and this is the third output, right? So third output, if you go salary into 12, okay, so this is the into 12 value.
Okay, by default, it is displaying column name also salary into 12.
Yes, because this is what we gave column name as, right? So
Yes,
it
yes.
is displayed. Yeah. So
So
if
keep
you
in
want,
double quotes, annual salary. Right?
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you can say here annual
The whole
and
is
space salary.
okay.
Okay. So you get annual salary here. Okay. So now let's say if you by mistake or not by mistake, let's say, you put first name as first space name. I told you, right? Never use space when creating a table. You always, whenever there is a space, you will always have to add double quotation. That's an extra task. That's why it is not a good idea to, use a space in column names. Okay. Do not use, you can give underscore like this here. Okay.
Okay. Creating tables, we should not give space. But while displaying, we can give what we
No,
can
no.
give
While
space.
displaying also, you have to put in double quotation. So, you can
I'm
use.
saying that
Yeah.
double quotes like we can give space, right? But while
Yes.
creating, not
Yes.
give.
Select last name from HR dot employees. Okay.
Swapnil,
Yes.
sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
So regarding the double quotations, so even when we changed last name, like we didn't give any space in between, since still we put it in double quotations.
Correct. Because this is the new name that I want to give. Okay. So see, if I don't give, it will treat it as another column name. Okay. But I'll tell you another way here. Okay.
Mm.
Now, so there is one more way to do this. Okay. Okay. Let me take this one itself because it has less number of columns. You can also say here as last name. Now, in this case, okay, you don't last name as name, let's say, or you want to use as last name, last name. Now, in this case, okay, since it's a single word, you don't have to give uh, uh, um, quotation, but you are using as. Okay, you have to give as here.
Mhm.
So, okay, so if you get a double quotation, it is understood that you are doing something on your own. But otherwise, you can put as here. So as, and then since, as you said correctly, yes, we do not have space, so you don't have to give in quotation, but you have to use
Okay.
as in that case.
Okay. And for annual salary, if we use as, we still have to give the double quotation.
Correct,
Right.
correct, correct. Because
Okay.
because we have space in that. Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So now let's just select last name from HR employees. So, okay, so you have, do you see any duplicate here? Very hard to, yeah, see here, grant, right? Okay, let me see if first name has more duplicates. Oops. And, no, I think last name was better. Okay, so see, so now let's say I'm running last. I want to see the list of all the last names. Now, if this table, of course, if has 200 employees, you get 200 values, right? Okay, it will only display you as first 50, but you can have more value, right? Now, let's say I don't want to, because see, I want last name. Sorry about that. So I want only last name, right? So if I want last name, I don't need to get do double values, right? Grant not required, because I just want to see what are the last names only, correct? So in this case, okay, you can actually do it by using a command called distinct. distinct. This is same as using remove duplicates. Okay. So in Excel, we filter a column, right? We select a column and then we say remove duplicates, right? So distinct will remove duplicates. So now when I run it, okay, you should not see two grants there. G, see, only one grant we have. Okay. So distinct will remove the duplicate values. Now it is interesting. Okay. Interesting in a way that now let's say here I have only one column. Okay. But what if I take last name, comma, first name? Okay. This is left side is last name, right? See here. No, because see, I was looking at only last name. So grant, 10 times I was getting grants, it removed and replaced with one grant. Fine. But when I say last name, comma, first name, okay. Now, if first name is different, then they are not unique, right? They are not, I mean, they are unique. They are not distinct, correct? Grant Douglas and Grant Kimberly, they are different. So in this case, you see, distinct will get both the grant. It will look for unique combination of first name and last name. And the exactly same thing happens in Excel also. If you select two columns and you say remove duplicate, it will look for both the values. If both values match only, it will remove the duplicate. Right? So,
Yes, got
right? So when you use distinct, just be careful, okay? Because number of columns that you add, all those columns together, it will look for unique values. So if you have two person with, let's say, Phil Grant and Phil Grant, only one Phil Grant will come. But let's say if I include salary and their salary is also same, then also you'll get only one row. But if the salary is different, you will end up getting two different rows.
Okay. Since salary is different, but names are same.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So we have seen distinct. Okay. Now in this case itself, okay, or let's do in this case here. So distinct last name, let me remove, okay, let me put it here and let me, okay. So here I'm going to say, okay, I want in particular order. Okay, so you can mention the order. Okay, I can say order by. Order is always followed by order by. So order by. Sorry. If you don't mention order by, okay, all these commands, it displayed in the same order that you inserted the value, right? The value that you insert first will become first. Second value that you insert into the table will become second. So on. But you don't want to go by that order. You want to go by certain order, right? So again, in Excel, so we go to data here. You see this sorting, right? So this is called sorting. So if I have name, okay, and I have Sachin, Kohli, Lakshman, Rohit, and for A or B, can you tell me a name? Okay, let's say we have this name. So this is a column and these are the values. I want to sort the name. So what do? Okay, you select this column or you select here and you go and say sort. Now, when you click on sort, you have one small option here called my data has headers. So because of your data will have headers most of the time, right? 99% of the time your data will have headers. So how will Excel know that you have header or not? Should header be also be included when you're doing sorting, or header should be left out? So if I, of course, like name in this case is a
Header.
header, right? You don't want name also to be included here. So you say my header has my data has headers. So see, automatically this name is deselected. Now these are the data that will be sorted. So sort by column name, right? So the order by what we have in Excel is same as sort by. You can select, here we have only one column, so you have only one option, right? If you have 11 columns, you'll say 11 options here. So you can say sort by, okay? Sort by, sort on values and order. So since it's a text, it has already figured out that it's a text, so it's giving you a option like A to Z or Z to A, right? So you can say A to Z. By default, it is A to Z, right? And you say OK. So see, AKLRS. Similarly, I go here, okay, order by, okay, and order by, and let's say first name, okay, order by first name. Now, what happens if there are error? See, these values are does not have any null. Okay, let me do trial here. Okay, you see this commission? Just give me a second. Okay, so yeah, so let's say here you see manager ID or commission percentage is blank. Now, if I say order by commission percentage, okay, I just selected and did Control C. I copied the name, and then I do like this. Okay, so not a selected expression, right? What does that mean? It means that you're ordering by commission, but commission is not there in selected. If it is not there in selected, then how can you order it? Yes or no, right? Because the result that you get will not have any impact, right? So what I do, so I will add commission percentage here. Now let's run this. So you see commission percentage by number, it is automatically your smallest to highest. Okay, we have DESC for reverse order. Okay, but first we'll just look at the default order, which is increasing order in numbers and A to Z order in text. So if I had given first name, first you would have got A and then B and C and so on. Now you see here, okay, when I say commission percentage, we did had a lot of null values, isn't it? Null values are like no values, not available. It's not like zero. It's not same as zero. If those were zeros, we would have got null values first. Null is not same as zero. Null means we don't have the data. Correct? So since those column does not have any value, that it's null, it has moved them at the last. So you'll have 0.1, 0.1, 0.15, 0.2, 0.25, 0.3, increasing order. After that, you have rest of the values which are null. But let's say if you want to display null first. So I'll select this and then I will say here, okay, order by, okay, commission percentage. Okay, so this is fine. Now I'm going to say nulls first. Okay, nulls first, and let's run it. Okay, so now you see that you get all the null values. After null values, you will get 0.1, 0.2. You can download CSV, you can see the file, right? So if you want to display null first, this is how you will do it. right? So we have seen select, we have seen from, we have seen distinct, we have seen how to give a column alias, right? We call this as column alias. Okay, column alias. We have seen how to order, okay, and how to uh, mm, order and how to write our own custom column, right? Which is based on other column, right? We created our own column based on another column. Okay, so let's see. We'll have one more thing. Okay, I want to display first name space last name. Okay, I don't want to display uh, the column where I'm displaying the actual value in UI. Okay, I need first name space last name. I don't need two different columns. I need one single column. So how do you concatenate two different columns? Okay, so I'm going to say select first name comma last name from HR employee, right? So in this case, you get two different columns, right? You get two different columns. Okay, I don't want two different columns. I said I want to concatenate them. I want to join them together, right? So I can say here pipe. It's called pipe sign. Double pipe, okay, will give you, will join the two columns. So now when I run it, what do you get? See, first names. Now you see here, Ellen, Abel got added together because we said first name, last name, right? But actually we need to give space in between. So before we align, so first name joined with space. Now, if you want to, okay, add any text, okay, text, yesterday and before also we saw, if you are giving as a text command, you have to be single quote. Okay, so SQL accepts text in single quote. Double quote is for giving a name, alias. Single quote is for adding text. So I want to give a space between first name and last name. So I'll say first name, pipe, double pipe, space, okay, double pipe, last name. Now when you run it, okay, you see ln space able. And of course, we want to give an alias. So I'll say employee name. Okay, so that's the alias that we give, employee name. And now you got this. You can create your own text also, okay, based on this. So I can say, oops, not this one. I want to copy. I should copy this. Control C. Okay, so I want to say first name dot last name. Okay. Okay. Now I want to add something like this. 5 and say ln able earns dollar, okay, earns dollar. Now I'm going to
Can give
say salary into 12 annually, right? And I can call this as message or whatever, right? Now let's see. Okay, we need to give space here, right? So Stephen King earns, and here also you need to give space. Now when you go and run it, you see, you can combine values from multiple columns. You can add your own text. Okay, all these things together, you can form your query. Okay, so you can form this. Now, last, command for the day. I want you to give you time to practice all this. How to add a condition. Now, all this that we have been doing, it is done on all the columns. We are fetching, sorry, we are fetching all the rows, right? Not columns. Columns we know how to manage, right? Select and then the list of columns. So you easy to manage, right? If you want only 3 columns, you only give 3 column names after select. But how do I manage the rows? Okay, so let's say I want let me go here. Let me see all the information. We have department. Okay, let's say department, you have 90, 60, 100. Let's say I want all these information only for department 90 or department 60. So I'll say from HR employees, where is the command which will filter on the rows. So where department ID equal to 90. So you have only 3 employees in department 90. Okay, so you get only this. This is only for department 90. You want to department 60, so you can change it to department 60. Okay, now you have to give 2 conditions. So you can say department ID equal to 60 and what more condition you want to add. Okay, so and let's stick to department ID only. You can put any other thing. Okay, and first name is Alexander, right? So where department ID is 60 and first name, okay, equal to Alexander, right? So you get only 1, right? Or I can say department equal to, so when it is text, you have to give in single quote, right? Remember that. Number, you don't need to give in quote. 60 and ID equal to 90. And when you run it, oops, see, department ID is unique value. Okay,
It
no,
only same.
right? So you cannot
Yeah, got
have, yeah, you cannot have department ID 60 and 90 both, because everyone will have only one ID, department ID, either 60 or 90, not and, right? So you said department ID 60 or department order 90. So or means either is fine, and means both has to be true. Correct? That's the difference between and. When I say, Sachin and Sehwag will open the batting, that means both Sachin and Sehwag has to be there, right? One of them is not accepted. But if I say Sachin or Sehwag will open, that means anyone is fine. I don't need both. Correct? So I'm saying department ID equal to 60 and department ID equal to 90. Okay, department ID has only one value. You cannot have 2 values in this case. So you're getting no data found. But if I say or, right? So either 60 or 90, that means you get for both. So now see, if you want, you can put here message, comma, department ID, right? So you can see the department value is 60, 60, 90, right? It has taken from 60 and 90 department ID. Yes? Any questions so far?
Yeah, got it. Mostly we will write, we will depend on select queries only, like before this insertion, the update, delete, like
See,
in data.
insertion is done only once. Update probably you'll be doing once or twice, but select you are doing more. So look around. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, data analyst I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So data analyst only. Now, if you want to analyze the data, so you need data. To need data, you have to do select. You're not creating the data.
I
Data
mean,
analysis
it's
is
not our
about
job to create or update.
correct,
Mostly
correct.
will depend
No,
on
no, no. Look at the situation, right? See, you are analyzing the data, right? Our purpose is to analyze data. So to analyze data, whatever data is there, that only we should analyze, correct? Not create our own data and analyze. What
okay,
has
existing
happened,
data.
right? So you want to see, how my company behaved last month. So you will
Okay.
take last year data and then you are selecting and you're getting the data. You are not adding, creating. If you're creating, adding, that means you're creating a biasness,
The
right?
only thing
You
we want
should
to know
take
is
the
what
data
table
as
name.
it is, whatever is there. Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, but you will have to do insert update. That's what I'm saying. It's not 100%. Okay, maybe 95%, 99%. 1% is you might have to update, okay, if data is incorrect. For example, if you're talking about SAT score or GMAT score, what is the maximum GMAT score that you can get? 800. What is the minimum GMAT score you can get? 100. Now, if the data has 900 or 1000 or 50 or -10 or 2000, you know that data is not right. We'll talk about data cleaning process. There's something called a data cleaning. We'll talk about it. But in that case, you'll have to then apply update. Update, okay, set score to whatever, 500 or NA or minus whatever, where GMAT score is less than 100 or greater, or GMAT score greater than 800, right? So you are applying condition there that if GMAT score is less than 100 or more than, sorry, less than 100 and more than 800, the value should be handled differently. You cannot blindly take, yes, you can say that, okay, this person is the highest because he scored 2000 score in GMAT. Okay, 2000 GMAT, you can only score maximum 800, can't score 2000, right? So what I'm saying is you will have to handle, okay, not that you will not be doing update. You might have to insert, let's say, you want to create, let's say department ID is not there, let's say in the data. Okay, and you need to perform basis of the department. So you'll have to, alter table and add department ID. You might have to insert value in the department ID based on some condition, based on manager. Let's say if manager is ABC, then it is department sales. If manager is XYZ, then it is department finance. So you will have to update data also sometimes, because the logic that you are supposed to do, okay, which is again select, but it will not be complete. I cannot do department analysis without having a department column, or without having value in the department column. So you might have to, alter table, add a column, and then, insert uh, department ID based on the manager or some other factor. So you will be doing, I'm not saying that you will know, data cleaning is all about this, making data ready for your analysis. Whether you are doing analysis using SQL or you are pushing it to some other tool, okay? But before that, you need to do some cleaning, right? You cannot blindly take data and start using it. You might have to insert sometimes, you might have to update, okay? You might have to delete also. Let's say if your team says if the GMAT score is not correct, delete the data. So you simply say, delete from table name where GMAT score less than 100 and or greater than 800. You don't need it. Remove them. Okay, if you remove them, your data will be lighter and your whatever you are performing will be faster to operate, right? Less data, faster your machine can work. So you will be doing update, delete, insert, alter, whatever we have done. Okay, probably not create table, but you might have to create table also. You never know, right? You might have to create table to store some information. Chances are rare, maybe 1% of your work or 0.5% of your work, but still it is possible. I'm not saying that it's not possible. We have to create in multiple ways. We have to make data available in such a way that, okay, it is faster and correct analysis. Correct analysis is key. So we say 4 C's, okay? Correct, complete, concise, okay, correct, complete, concise, and there's one more C. Okay, data has to be complete. First of all, you cannot say incomplete information. Incomplete information gives wrong meaning. it has to be correct. Okay, whatever you're doing has to be correct. If it is not correct, don't do it. If it is not complete, don't do it. Okay, concise. You cannot, uh, if I ask you, give me the message, send this message only to department 60 and 90. Then you should not do it for rest. You say, okay, let me do for everybody. Anyway, 60, 90 will also be included in everybody. Correct? No. Concise. Whatever is required, only that much you should do. Okay. I'm forgetting the 4C. So, so these are the aspects that you have to build your data on, right? There are times where we have created tables also. Okay, there are two tables which are very complex to link. Okay, and let's say and both of them has large data, and you have to continuously link those two tables and get the data. So instead, what we'll do is we'll create a new table. It will take some time, okay, extra time, one-time effort. You create a new table. We used insert into using select. Okay, select data from two different tables, create a new table, and then perform query, because joining two tables is time consuming. Okay, whenever you are adding anything new, okay, this is the fastest. Okay, if you talk about this is fastest. Okay, this is second fastest. As you add more and more, it becomes little slower, little slower, little slower, little slower. Okay, so as you keep on doing that, the performance is degrading. So it reached to a situation where performance was very bad. So what we did, we created a new table. We added that we combined data from two different tables and added in third table, and then it became very simple. There's no need to join two tables, right? You just use third table. So what I'm saying is everything that we have done is important. Okay, but two things. One, you won't be using that bulk of your time. And second thing is those things are not complex as well. Those things are not at all complex. We saw them, right? So straightforward. Update, set column name, where value is this. Simple, right? It's not complex at all. And you won't be doing much. Select, 95% of your work will be select, and select can get complex. Yes, did I answer you? Yes. So the query itself is not insensitive. Okay, but your the text that you put in quotation is case sensitive. So if I say A capital, L capital, there is no such match. That's why it says no data found. So it is case sensitive, this one. But your column as such is not case sensitive. Okay, so instead of giving first name, if I give FIRST underscore name, okay, there will not be any change in the result. Okay, so query itself is not case sensitive. Okay, but your strings, okay, are case sensitive. Does that make sense?
Yes. So these queries are different from MS SQL? Oracle
No,
SQL?
exactly same, exactly same. This is what we're doing is called SQL, structured query language. Doesn't matter which database you use. Doesn't matter whether you use Oracle or SQL Server or MySQL or any database. The
So
SQL,
you mean to say on resume we can put both Oracle and MS SQL
yeah,
skills?
correct. So Oracle MS SQL will come under database type. SQL will come in the language, programming language that you know, which all tools you know. So tools you will say SQL, Python, right? And databases that you have used will come Oracle, SQL Server. But this is not SQL Server. This is not Oracle, right? Oracle, you have to go, you have to perform installation. That also you can do. So Oracle also has something called as personal edition. Okay, when you go to Oracle website, okay, I don't know, I think latest is 14 or 15 G. I'm not tracking that, but you have personal edition. So personal edition is very much like what we install in SQL Server. It is used on local machine for local users. You can't connect from the different system, but it has all the features of enterprise Oracle. So you can learn how to install, how to create there we have something called a SQL Plus. Just like when we created and we got as Management Studio as a tool, you will get SQL Plus as a tool. Okay, SQL Plus tool will be installed along with Oracle, and you can run same queries over there. So yes, you can try installing Oracle Personal Edition, and you can mention that. you know Oracle database as well, right?